Hi, this is Nelson Ranch. So, I want to talk about the new gacha here. Um, let's go there. So this is the new gacha that was announced at the Paka Live. This is the new Daiichi Ruby. This version is very strong. There's just no other way to put it. The Denko Sekka that she has, which she should have, because the only way you can actually get this skill is from the Daiichi Ruby support card. So the fact that Daiichi Ruby herself has Denko Sekka is fine. The thing is that when it turns into an Evo skill, it immediately turns into a skill in which there is no requirement in where you are. So I think previously you had to be like in 5th place or below in a champions meeting of like a 9-person race. Now you can be in any place. You could be in like 1st place, and this will still proc. If you're in 1st place, this will proc within the 1st quarter of the last section of the acceleration phase. When you enter the acceleration phase, and if you're in 2nd place, 3rd place, 4th place, if there's a character in front of you that you want to surpass, then immediately it will proc. So it has a chance of immediately procking even if you're in second place all the way to the end. So Denko Sekka has now become really powerful. Now when you combine this with this skill, which is basically you increase your speed when you get close to the end of the when you get to the acceleration phase, and this skill, which increases your speed in the middle of the race, what's going to happen is this Daiichi Ruby, despite being a betweener, this skill will only apply if you are a betweener, by the way. Even if you are a betweener, there's a good chance that you'll be in, like, 4th place or above. Which is why this skill turned into this evil skill, I imagine, where they got rid of the thing. So you can actually combine this with high voltage, and Daiichi Ruby will now be, as a individual character, a character that can very easily win champions meetings. And I suspect that she can actually now be a character that can be used even in League of Heroes for the mile. So because there is no requirement for your positioning. So you basically put both Denko Sekka here and high voltage, and you're just going to fly forward, and because you are a betweener, you're automatically going to be faster than well, by definition, you're going to be faster than a leader or a runner with the same stats and the same green skills. So, I mean, this is a character that's actually worth having now, right? So this is a very strong character. This Daitaku Helios is also very good, but I think this Daitaku Helios is a character that's designed specifically to be a runner, not an Onige runner, but just a regular runner. And this is because for her unique skill to proc, she needs to basically be in competition with a fellow runner. If you become an Onige runner, then you're not going to be in competition unless you got 2 Onige runners going at the same time, in which case she will win. So you can send out 2 Onige runners, including her, or you can send out a runner and another. You can send out this Daitaku Helios and another regular runner, and the 2 of you can actually compete to make this skill proc. And when this skill procs, she will be taking the lead. So I could easily see a case in which basically what you do is you do Silent Suzuka, you do Daitaku Helios, and you do another runner like, I don't know, Ines Fujin, and you do a triple runner strat, and you hope that one of the 3 will actually win, and that these 3 runners will basically push, will expand the lead so far forward that betweeners and chasers, and to some extent leaders as well, will not be able to make it to catch up to the 3 runners in front of them. So I could see that. So if you have jewels that are lying around that you can still use, I highly recommend pulling for her. Now in my case, I had roughly 10,600 jewels, I think, before today, because what I did was I did the not that one, sorry, I did the Masters Challenge on the first day that they all came out, and each one of these gave, I believe, 300 jewels, right? They gave 300 jewels for each phase, right? So they gave you 900 jewels for each of these. So 9 times 5, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races. They gave us 4,500 jewels. And so I was sitting at like, you know, something like 10,000 jewels, and I had like 8,000 jewels or something like that. And basically, I was sitting at like 22. I was sitting at like 12,000. No, I was sitting at like 22,000 jewels at that point in time. And because I was sitting at 22,000 jewels, I was literally just 7,500 jewels shy. And because I was just 7,500 jewels shy, I could not resist the temptation, and I bought that special deal where with 10,000 yen you get 7,500 jewels. And so I am now sitting at 30,000 jewels here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the daily pulls. Hope that I pull Ruby or Helios, either. Be happy with that. If I don't pull, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until the next banner is announced, and as soon as the next banner is announced, we will know by that point people using Ruby and Daitaku Helios and how good they are. So if I feel necessary, I will pull. I don't really want to, because I already have a pretty darn good Daiichi Ruby as is. Ooh, gold. No, it's Econodictus. Well, you know, road to a 4-star, so that's good. So if you go to the list of my characters here, just reset that. This. I have a pretty decent Daiichi Ruby here that has a high power. And this Daiichi Ruby is good because if you plan to send out 2 betweeners, or a betweener and a chaser, then this Daiichi Ruby basically has that debuff effect, right? So she has a double debuff effect, essentially, and that allows my other characters to be able to win. So even when I go to like the what do you call them, room matches, which is like really hard. Like winning in the room matches is actually harder than winning champions meetings as far as I'm concerned. But even when you go to the room matches, I could reliably win like 30% of the races as long as I've got that Daiichi Ruby in there. And it's not Ruby herself that's winning, it's sometimes Ruby, but it's sometimes the other characters, and clearly the other characters are able to win. For example, if a leader character like my Seeking the Pearl can win, it's probably because she's getting the benefits from the Ruby effects. So if I replace that Ruby with the new, you know, Blue Ruby. God, Blue Ruby sounds weird, but you know, it sounds even weirder saying Daiichi Sapphire because you know she's blue. But you know, the Blue Ruby. If I replace her with the Blue Ruby, then you know I don't get that buff for the other characters, and you know, will the Blue Ruby be enough to actually reach and you know catch up to the runners if I meet like a triple runner team? I don't know, and I think the only way to know is to basically run room matches, you know, a few days from now, and find some, you know, people who actually made a Blue Ruby, borrow that Blue Ruby, and then run practice runs. You just have to run lots and lots of practice runs. And if it looks like that Blue Ruby can, like, you know, is more beneficial than having the regular Ruby, then I would actually pull. If not, then I'll stick with the original Ruby, because I mean, I guess the other option is what I do is I send out a runner, a leader, and Blue Ruby, or I send out 2 runners, Blue Ruby, or I send out 2 leaders and Blue Ruby. So the backliner is just the Blue Ruby, in which case Blue Ruby is probably the character to have, right? But if I'm sending out a Blue Ruby and another betweener like Vivlos, then I want to send out if I'm sending out 2 characters like Vivlos and Ruby, then I want to send out the original Ruby, the red Ruby. So, actually, is she red? Now that I think about it, let me take a look. What color is she? Well, I guess it's just sort of red. But the other reason why I'm hesitant to do this is if you see the investments that I've made in the regular Ruby, it's pretty high. And, you know, the fact that I have to put in as high an investment as this much in the blue Ruby seems kind of nuts. I mean, that's because, you know, my love for Ruby is not as intense as my love for Tamama Cross. Tamachan is going to get max everything. She got max everything. I don't use this skill, and I don't use this skill, so I've left those blank, but everything is rank 3 here. This Tamachan is slated to get everything maxed out soon. It's got maxed out for all the white skills here, and the gold skills were not maxed out because previously, if people recall, you could actually get this skill. I think you could get this skill in the Lark scenario. So, you know, I was happy with just level 1 because I could get this to level 2. But I'm planning on getting this to level 3, and then this Tamachan will be fully bumped up. The other characters that are getting there is this Oguri. This Oguri is fully bumped up. That's because, you know, I like Oguri as well. This Brian was going to get these 2 bumped up, but I'm not using her that much these days, so I'm leaving her left behind. And this Oguri is the other character that's going to get hint level 3 for the 2 golds. So Oguri and Tamachan are basically in the same spot. And Ruby would be like the 3rd character to get that treatment. I'm not sure if I want to do that. I'd rather, like, you know, prioritize characters like Hishi Miracle. I gotta actually make that to hint level 3 because the next one, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna send out Hishi Miracle for the League of Heroes because, you know, I just want to send out characters that I like, and I want Hishi Miracle ideally to get the that title, the hero story for Hishi Miracle. Oguri still doesn't have that hero story, so I might actually send out Oguri as well. So if I send out Oguri, Hishi Miracle, and it's either this special week, which I haven't put any books in, or this special week that's designed to be a long distance character. But this special week is specifically for the Nakayama race course and not for the Kyoto race course. And so she's designed more for the 2500 and not a 3200. And if it's going at 3200, then it's either going to be this special week or this special week. And considering the acceleration skill problem that I had with Oguri as a leader in the most recent monthly match, I'm thinking of sending out this special week because this special week is actually a betweener. I could, of course, send out Sakura Laurel. You know, that would just make my life a lot easier. But I'm thinking about going with Hishi Miracle, this Oguri, as a betweener, not as a leader. As a leader, the acceleration skills aren't going to proc, so I'm going to probably go do a triple betweener and go with triple Mugamuchu. So I'll have this skill. I'll have to bump up that skill, just as I have to bump up this skill and that skill, and then I have to bump up the skills for this special week. And if I can actually make them all, you know, really, really recovery heavy, because she has a recovery component, she has a recovery component, and she has a recovery component. All 3 of them have recovery components in their lineup. So if I can put up 1 gold recovery skill and a 3.5% recovery skill if I'm an inherit, either Grass Wonder or Sakura Laurel, this skill here, then I I can actually make a character that's designed to run in the rain, where people's stamina requirements are much higher, and that would actually make the chances of my team winning much higher. So that is my current thinking for the League of Heroes May. So with that in mind, you know, do I have enough hint books and money to actually invest all of that in a totally new character? And that's another reason why I'm hesitant, because I've already invested in this Ruby, and I've already invested in Vivlos. Where are you, Vivlos? Here. She's got all level 3 and everything that she needs, and I've also already invested in Seeking the Pearl. She's got level 3 and everything she needs as well. So, you know, these 3 characters, I can just do the April League Champions meeting without new investment, and so I can prepare for the League of Heroes without really worrying about it. And that's what I was thinking. I mean, if I don't need to prepare that much for the League of Heroes in May because I'm not using Special Week or this version, and I'm using where should go? This version of Special Week, then, you know, I could work out a new character to beef up. And I was actually thinking of working on this Yukino Bijin for the April Champions meeting, because she's got Non-Stop Girl and she's got this. So these are both acceleration skills, and if I can add you know, high voltage to that, that's all I need. I actually don't need to borrow Daiwa Scarlet, the weak character, the weak card Daiwa Scarlet Power, to get acceleration, because I have already 2 acceleration skills here. So I'll have 3 acceleration skills, and that's more than enough. And then her unique skill is actually increased speed when she is in the, you know, in the front of the pack or towards the front in the last 300 meters, and that's perfect for the mile. So it's like, you know. Oh, by the way, on a totally different topic, this upcoming Champions meeting is the Hanshin Okasho, Hanshin 1600 meter mile, and it's basically the Okasho. And the Okasho historically, well, not historically, but Okasho in reality, not historically, in reality, is the race in which only mares run. So I've just basically put a limitation on myself that this Champions meeting, I only want to send out characters that are mares, and I'm not going to send out any stallions. So if they're mares, then they basically have to be characters where the ribbon is on the right hand side. So Special Week is a stallion, so the ribbon is on the left hand side, or her right here. And Yukino Bijin is a mare, so the ribbon is on the right hand side, or her left ear. So basically only characters that's got ribbon on this side I think I'm going to be able to send out. Fine Motion is a weird character in the sense that she's got in both, and that's because she was a horse that had that I think is was biologically female, but had a genetic disorder and couldn't have kids. It's kind of sad. Anyway. So, you know, Vodka is a possibility, Daiwa Scarlet is a possibility, Air Groove is a possibility. There's a whole bunch of mares, but they're more stallions than mares in general. And so, you know, it's kind of limited. Haru Urara is a mare, but I'm not sending out Haru Urara, that's kind of insane. Machikane Fukuta is actually a stallion. Machikane Fukuta is not a mare, despite that thing over there. Oguri is a stallion. Fujikiseki is a stallion. Vaka is a mare. We were just talking about that. Taiki is a stallion. Oh, Hishi Amazon is a mare. So I could actually, you know, bring out Hishi Miracle as well. Not Hishi Miracle. Hishi Amazon. Sorry, Hishi Amazon is a mare, so I could send out her too. But you know, so this is what I was actually thinking about. You know, who do I want to send out for the April Champions meeting, and who do I want to send out for the May League of Heroes? And you know, when I think about those things, I was like, now. You could also make the argument that the Hanshin 1600 is actually the juvenile fillies, And I believe Gold City actually won the Hanshin Juvenile Phillies 1600 meters. So, you know, but, you know, the Hanshin Juvenile Phillies is held in December, not in April. So, you know, you could, but you could make the argument that, you know, for the juvenile, any character, I could make the argument that, you know, she's okay, but I've decided that I'm just going to go with mares. Nishino Flower is a mare, so she's going to be good. I know that Sakura Chiyono is actually very strong. Haru Ichiban's good. And by the same token, this King Halo, despite the fact her unique skill procs a little late, this skill is very good too. So these two characters are going to be quite strong. Daiichi Ruby is a mare, so you know I have no problems there. And Vivlos and her older sister Versina are both mares, but Cheval Grand is actually a stallion. But they are three siblings. It's anybody else? Oh, and Mejiro Lamone, of course, is a mare. And Mejiro Dober is a mare. She's going to be pretty good. Can't use this skill because this is for mid distance, but from what I understand, this skill is going to be good. Right? This is the same skill that Vivlos has essentially. Yeah. Anyway, so you know that's just me, you know, talking out loud about the gacha. Do I want to pull for the new Ruby or not? Thinking about, you know, April and May, thinking about the number of, what do you call them, jewels I have, and all of that. Alright, and the monthly matches are over. The Agnes Tachyon event is over, so I hope people are gonna have a good time. You know, thinking about this, and if anybody is going to pull the gacha, all the luck to you. And if I decide to pull the gacha, I will record it and I will show it as well. Alright, take it easy guys. Bye bye.